Objective Geology, multiple choice questions with answers. This is the solved question paper of Technical Assistant Mines and Geology 2011 question paper. And I hope this solved question paper is useful for various competitive exams like CSR, NETGATE, GSI and other exams. Welcome to set 2. First question. Surface of slippage between two crustal masses moving relative to one another during faulting is known as A. Fault plane, B. Fault line, C. Fault scarp and D. None of these. So the correct option is A. Fault plane. The surface of slippage between the two crustal masses moving relative to one another during faulting is known as a fault plane. A is the correct option. Next question. The characteristic difference between cubic and orthorhombic systems are A. Length of axis, B. Angular relationship of axis, C. Both length of axis and angular relationship of axis, D. None of them. The characteristic difference or the main difference between the cubic and orthorhombic systems is the length of their axis. In a cubic system, all the three axes are of the same length, while in an orthorhombic system, the three axes are all of different lengths. Next question. Of the following, which one shows the highest grade of metamorphism? A. Green schist, B. Hornfels, C. Amphibolite, and D. Eclogite. So the correct option goes as eclogite, D. Eclogite. Eclogite is a metamorphic rock that forms under the highest pressures and temperature conditions and making it the highest grade of metamorphism. So D is the correct option. Next question. The chief coal-bearing stage of the lower Gondwana in India is A. Talchers, B. Barakar, C. Pachmari, and D. Rajmahal stage. The chief coal-bearing stage of the lower Gondwana in India is Barakars. The Barakar formation is the main coal-bearing stage of the lower Gondwana in India, and it is the primary source of the coal in the country, containing more than 90% of the total coal reserves. So B. Barakars is the correct option. Next question. An example of discordant intrusive body is A. Facolith, B. Localith, C. Sill, D. Dike. The correct option is D. Dike. Dike is an example of discordant intrusive body. Next question. All kinds of changes taking place in a rock in which heat is the dominant factor during metamorphism is called A. Dynamothermal metamorphism, B. Thermal metamorphism, C. Load metamorphism, and D. Cataclastic metamorphism. So the correct option is B. Thermal metamorphism. When heat is the main factor in changing the rock during metamorphism, it is called as a thermal metamorphism. Thermal metamorphism is also known as a contact metamorphism. So B. Thermal metamorphism is the correct option. Next question. In which system barite crystallizes? So this is a very simple straightforward question. A. Monoclinic, B. Orthorhombic, C. Hexagonal, and D. Cubic. Barite crystallizes in orthorhombic crystal system. So B is the correct option. Next question. Diplograptus belongs to A. Devonian, B. Cambrian, C. Upper Ordovician, D. Carboniferous. The correct option is Diplograptus belongs to Cambrian. Diplograptus is a genus of graptolites, which are the extinct marine animals that lived during the Cambrian period. Next question. Sedimentary rock formed by lithification of clay and lacking stratification is A. Shale, B. Claystone, C. Slate, D. Coral reef. So the correct answer is B. Claystone. So claystone is a sedimentary rock that is made up of hardened clay. It is a non-fissile mud rock that contains up to 50% clay particles. And clay particles, these are smaller than 1/256 of a millimeter in size. So sedimentary rock formed by lithification of clay and lacking stratification is claystone. Next question. Central depression associated with the principal vent of an active volcano is, this is also a simple question, A. Crater, B. Cone, C. Vent, and D. None of these. So the correct option is A. Crater. Volcano crater. A crater volcano is a volcano with a crater which is a bowl-shaped depression in the ground which is caused by volcanic activity, and the crater is usually located at the summit or the top of the volcano. Next question. The principle of superposition in stratigraphy denotes A. Time significance, B. Regional correlation, C. Space significance, and D. Lateral continuity of strata. The principle of superposition in stratigraphy, it denotes the regional correlation. B is the correct option. Next question. More or less regularly spaced short transverse fractures in dikes filled with commercial mineral deposits are called A. Saddle reefs, B. Stockwork, C. Microcline, and D. Sanidine. The correct option is A. Saddle reef. A mineral deposit which is associated with the crest of an anticlinal fold and following the bedding planes, usually found in the vertical succession. This is known as a saddle reef. And so these are filled with the commercial mineral deposits. So A is the correct option. Next question. Low temperature variety of potash feldspar mineral is A. Orthoclase, B. Adularia, C. Microcline, D. Sanidine. So the correct option is B. Adularia. Adularia, it is a low temperature variety of potash feldspar. It's a feldspar mineral that forms in the low temperature veins of felsic plutonic rocks and in cavities in crystalline schists. So B. Adularia is the correct option. Next question. The grain size of pegmatite is usually A. less than 1 centimeter, B. less than 2 centimeters, C. less than 3 centimeters, and D. 3 centimeters or more. The grain size of pegmatite is generally 3 centimeters or more. Pegmatites, they ranges from the average grain size of the pegmatite, it is about 8 to 10 centimeters, roughly around 3 to 4 inches. Next question. The infillings of vesicles in rocks by secondary minerals are known as A. pumice, B. scoria, C. vesicles, and D. none of these. The infillings of the vesicles in rocks by secondary minerals are known as amygdales. So that's why D is the correct option. Next question. The typical type of twinning exhibited by plagioclase feldspars is A. penetration twin, B. contact twin, C. polysynthetic twin, and D. none of these. So the correct option is C. polysynthetic twin. Plagioclase feldspars typically exhibit polysynthetic twinning, which is a characteristic set of lamellar twins. And this twinning, it is a key feature of plagioclase and it is used to distinguish it from the other minerals. So C. polysynthetic twin is the correct option. Next question. Mineral deposits formed near the surface are called A. epithermal deposits, B. mesothermal deposits, C. hypothermal deposits, and D. none of these. Mineral deposits formed near the surface are called as epithermal deposits, and they are formed by hydrothermal fluids that precipitate metals and the alteration minerals. So A. epithermal deposits is the correct option. Next question. A drainage pattern in which the tributaries and the main stream have the shape of a branching tree is called A. dendritic, B. parallel, C. radial, and D. none of this. So the correct option is A. dendritic. A drainage pattern that resembles a branching tree is called as a dendritic drainage pattern, and it is the most common type of drainage pattern. Next question. Folds with inclined axial planes in which the limbs are dipping essentially in the same direction are called A. recumbent folds, B. overturned folds, C. conjugate folds, and D. none of these. Folds with the inclined axial planes in which the limbs are dipping essentially in the same direction are known as a recumbent folds. So the fold in which the axial plane is essentially horizontal and the limbs are in the same direction horizontally, that is known as a recumbent fold. A is the correct option. Next question. Deposit of sediment of rock particles accumulating at the base of the slope and originating from higher slopes are called A. sheet erosion, B. alluvium, C. moraine, and D. colluvium. So the correct option is D. colluvium. Deposits of sediment and rock particles that accumulate at the base of a slope are known as a colluvium or a scree or talus. And these deposits are formed by the process of deposition, which is that means when sediment is laid down by wind, water, ice, or the sea. So D. colluvium is the correct option. Hope you have followed the content and the question. See you in the next video. Hope you can explore geosciences and subscribe. Thank you for your time.